All right, welcome to the Illini Guys Halftime Live. This is Mike Kegley. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're going to plow through it. Brad, one of the best finishes to a half, 16-3 with a over the last 4:32. Talk about what the Illini did different.
Well, you saw them, even their threes were like off offensive rebounds, kickouts. But they got to the rim. But the biggest thing was they had some bite defensively. And I know Sanford went out, but they had bite defensively. You have got to guard somebody. How do you not? You cannot let a guy get wide open early who's a shooter. Once he hit that first one, it should have been like, all right, we're just locking him up. We're turning off that water. And then once they did that and they made him take tougher shots, made him put the ball on the deck, which is what you have to do with Sanford. He can't be catch and shoots or curl shooting. You got to make him deck it. He did. He turned it over. And then he gets 2 fouls. But, you can't. And there were multiple times when they literally left a guy who had like 4 threes in the first half, and they left him to help. Like, what are you doing? Like, make somebody else shoot the ball. This wasn't like Thornton's the other night. This was Illinois just frigging leaving the kid open. And Thornton's creating a lot and doing things. But Sanford just runs around and stands in a spot. And the fact that he gets that open is pretty bad. I mean, I know he's a floor spacer, but it just can't happen defensively. It's almost like they didn't have any bite because they didn't. I don't know. Sometimes you can't. And I understand they're college kids. People have bad days. But, the 13-0 run is the way to finish it. Now you got to figure out. Now you got second half. You got to guard him because he's going to be back in the game.
Kid?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the most basic thing of basketball. It is hard as an athlete to understand, if you know anything about the game, to not play help defense. I get it. But when a guy is torturing you like that, you can't help. I mean, I know people are going to laugh at me when I say this, and I deserve all the smoke I get. This is the one time where analytics matter. You can't give up that many threes. You make him put the ball on the floor, 2 threes count more. And I mean, like, Stojakovic was guarding him. There was one time where Keaton went to bite, and I understand. You can't help. Give up a 2-pointer because you know what? I just put it on Twitter. The 3-ball is your enemy because you weren't making them early, and then you're giving them up on defense. If you don't put them on, if you're not going to let one guy beat you. Now, last week, they got lucky with against Ohio State because Thornton didn't score 45 in the second half. I don't know if that's going to happen today. Numbers tell you that typically doesn't happen. But you got to make shots, which we know that doesn't typically happen for Illinois. They went on a great run at the end. But if he's coming out like that or another guy, give up those damn driving lanes and quit helping out because the 3-ball will kill you. And if you're not making them, then you're short on the shot, then you're second-guessing yourself. Quit helping out on him. If teams are going to allow guys to get that hot, that's just common sense to me at this point. Sorry.
How important was the rebounding? Because it seems like that is what kept Illinois in the game, considering that they shot 6% less from the field and got almost doubled, 53-27 from the 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, the 10 offensive rebounds and 14 second chance points is really is huge. You know what I mean? That is exactly the kind of – that's what Illinois does, though, right? I mean, that's what they have to rebound. And that was the concern of Fred Hoiberg going in, was Illinois' offensive rebounding, and they did a good job of that. That's kind of the weird thing. The downside, I know people don't like it when, Illinois shoots threes, right? But if you look at how many times they got offensive rebounds on their threes, it was a pretty good number. So it's not always bad. I mean, even down the stretch, you just had you had. Let's see what Boswell had an offensive rebound on a 3. You had offensive rebound by Stojakovic on a missed 3. You had offensive rebound on a missed 3 by Stojakovic, went out of bounds. So down the stretch, I mean, that was what they did. They went, if you're going to shoot the threes, you better chase them down. And I think that's going to be a key for in the second half is to keep doing that. But I still like it better when they take good threes. You know what I mean? Like threes that are coming out of kickouts or coming off of the offensive rebounds, as opposed to just those, they took a couple of bad ones, just one dribble pull up. I thought, Jake Davis made the big 3 down the stretch. That corner 3 was fantastic. But at the same time, the other thing was at the same time he took a really bad one, I thought, early in the shot clock. So, you just got to make sure they're good shots. Take good shots.
Kid.
Yeah, you know what? I had a question for you guys, and I don't know if this is a bad take or not, and I'm not being sarcastic. I want to know what you guys think, and maybe our listeners. I think as we all love Fletch and think he's great at what he does, but do you guys think Tommy's too big? He can't move like he used to. I don't think he's hurt anymore. He doesn't seem to be the same guy that he was last year. He doesn't have the lift on his shot. Maybe we'll find out later that he is injured. I don't know. I've not heard that, Brad. Maybe you have. But he looks slower defensively. His passing is not there. He just doesn't look the same. And right now, I think Zonomer is better offensively and defensively. He will at least give you something. I like the timeout. When they call timeout, they drew a play for Zonomer to get the N1. But I think you saw the statistics. Zonomer is third in the Big Ten in block shots. He's shooting the ball much better. I just think they look better with him. And maybe I just don't think the weight, and I understand they put it on him because he needs to get bigger and stronger because he got pushed around last year. Am I missing something with this or what?
Brad?
Well, I mean, I think Zonomer's been better of late than Tommy, except maybe the Tennessee game. I agree with that. There's clearly something weird going on. Like, I don't – I mean, Tommy played 15 minutes that half, and I get they kind of made a run down the stretch. You wanted to leave him in maybe, but I mean, I thought Z gave you some lift when he was in there. But the one thing Z doesn't do very well, isn't doing right now is rebounding, which I'd like to see him do. I think if he did that, I think you're right. I mean, so I agree with you though. I don't think it's about Fletch. Tommy just doesn't look like his knees are bending. I mean, he's not bending in the knees. He's straight up and down. He just doesn't look the same guy we saw a year ago. I mean, he's not a plus athlete by any means, but he usually was better than this. And, you know, it's really, he took 2 shots and they're both threes. Now, some of it is, I felt like there were a couple times he's posted up and they won't throw him the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get him the ball in the paint and let him be a factor. And, you know, he did turn it over, trying to dribble or whatever. But I just didn't think they were really got, you know, much out of either center guy. I mean, Z had 5 points at least, but he didn't rebound. Tommy had some rebounds but couldn't score. And, you know, I don't know. They just weren't great, you know, in my opinion. So they got to be better. But I wouldn't say, you know, outside of really – I thought Stojakovic did some good things, also did some bad things. But one thing I liked about him was getting rebounds. He did go to the glass, which is, you know, kind of he contributed even though maybe he didn't have the best half. Markovic was okay when he didn't get sped up, had a couple turnovers. Boswell, you know, that was more like Kylan that we're used to seeing, right? Last game he wasn't great, but he was better in this one. And Wagler showed a little bit of freshman stuff, but he still finished with 4 assists. I know I honestly think the one turnover was his fault. They gave it to Markovic, but it was actually Wagler's pass. So, but I thought Wagler got better after the initial start. He started a little slow, and you know there were a couple things defensively where you saw him freshman like leaving Sanford. I think he did that twice, which is something, you know, that's hard to. That's a learning curve, and hopefully he'll make that adjustment. But the weird part about Wagler is you played him 20 minutes. I mean, seriously, what are we doing here? I don't know. Is he going to play 40 as a freshman?
He had 39 last game, Brad, and 38 to 1 before.
I know, it just seems crazy. I just feel like, and I know they have a week off after this, but as you get in the Big Ten, I don't think you can play him that many minutes. And, you know, I thought when the offense was struggling, maybe they'd go to Petrovic, but I think that, you know, you didn't want get him stuck on Sanford. Everybody scored 40.
No.
So I don't know. It's but yeah, there's a lot to. I agree with you, Ken, a little bit. I think that there's some that maybe even those minutes out a little bit more.
Well, the thing with Petrovic, I'll tell you real quick, guys. Sorry, Mike. They're in a 1-2-2, 1-3-1 zone. 1-2-2, then went to a 1-3-1. I think Petrovic would have struggled sitting over the top of that. I mean, typically Brad would give him a few minutes to give him a chance because this was the game because I don't think Nebraska's a great 3-point shooting team, but I don't think he's tall enough to see over the top, and a turnover here or there could change the momentum. They're lucky to be in the position that they're in right now. That's why I think he's not playing.
Yeah,
I agree.
8-15 from 3.
The other thing I'd like to see is most times against zones, you attack it at the free throw line. And this Nebraska zone has left that wide open.
Are they playing zone?
That's half the time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like a matchup kind of thing.
It is.
Really, it's what's weird is that they did the one play where Z kind of slipped. That's wide open all the time.
Yes,
I mean, it's like I know I think it's man-to-man principles, but you see they play zone behind. Like they always have a guy in the paint from the weak side. It doesn't matter. So that's where Jake
Yeah.
Davis is wide open on that one.
And they did that last year, if you remember. They did that last year. I remember.
Illinois
You're
took
right.
42 threes
Yep,
against
I
them.
remember that. You're right.
So they always keep a guy in the paint against that. They did play 1-3-1 a couple of times, but I thought that the most of the time it's like and they switch those top screens or they go out and double it. But if you slip it and then kick it, it's wide open all day long. I also thought when they help up, you could see that a couple times where the guy on the baseline needs to step up. He's staying too low. He could step up like to the middle of the paint right there, flash the middle. He's wide open. I thought I saw Hummerkaus and Boswell both do it where they could have taken 2 steps up and been wide open, but they're just kind of staying it deep. So yeah, I don't know. It's
if you pull the guy from the far baseline and you have him go up to the free throw line extended in that area, the whole thing kind of collapses because people have to start making choices.
Yep. But again, then that leaves us open for 3, Mike. Is that good or bad?
Well, that could be good. Well, you know what, guys? I don't know who's the guy. I don't know the guys that are calling the game, but he said this is the Ohio State game, and I know you guys are watching the same thing that I am. He made a comment when Ohio State went to a zone, we became stagnant. We just passed the ball around, and then Illinois got lucky because Keaton Walker hit 2 threes, and the Visage hit the 1. Today, they look stagnant again. To everything that you guys just said, to your point, they're just passing around, and hoping a shot's going to go in. The one time they got away with it was like we just both mentioned, Zonomir went to the basket and got an N1.
Yeah, we better get going, guys. The half has started. We will be here right as the game ends, folks. Thank you.
Okay. See ya.